let us look at what we call Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci sequence. And an example of this sequence is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and it continues. Is this sequence finite or infinite? This sequence is infinite. Why? It continues up to infinity. What is the rule of this sequence? The rule is simple. You get the first two terms, 1 plus 1, to give you the third term. So 1 plus 1 is 2. What about the next term? The next term is 3. So we get 3 by adding 1 plus 2 gives us 3. And again, 2 plus 3, 5. 3 plus 5, 8. And then 8 plus 5 gives us 13. That is the rule of this Fibonacci sequence. So the first two terms are 1 and 1, correct? Every term after that is the sum of the previous two terms. That is very true. For you to get a term at a particular position, like how I got 13, I simply added the previous two terms, that is 5 plus 8, 13. And for me to get the next term here, I need to add the previous two terms, that is 8 plus 13, and they give me 21. And then this is an infinite series. It continues up to infinity. So what is the rule of this sequence? The rule is that un equals to un minus 1 plus un minus 2. And for you to understand this, let me take you through the sequence notation. This is the last part of this video. After the sequence notation, then we shall call it an introduction to sequences. A reminder, for you to learn better from this platform, it is important that you keep writing notes. Sit down, get your book and copy these notes such that you use them for reading whenever you feel like. Therefore, let us go to the sequence notation. In the sequence notation, we simply have expressions that we use to give us a given meaning. Example, U1. U1 is the first term. The first term is the first number of the sequence. Like in this case, the first term is 1. How about the second term? The second term is the second number in the sequence. Again, in this case, our second term, U2, is 1. What about the third term? The third term is the third number in the sequence. In this case, our third term is 2. And possibly U4, which is the fourth term. Fourth term is the fourth number of the sequence. In this case, our fourth term is 3. It is important for you to know that when we say first term, we do not mean 1, but we simply mean a number which is in first position, or the first number, which is not necessarily 1. That is what you must keep in mind when we are looking at the sequence notation. How about UN? UN is the nth term. Okay? UN is the nth term. In other words, it is a number in position n. So UN is a number in position n, nth term. But remember, n equals to 1 for first term, 2 for second term, 3 for third term, 4 for fourth term, and 5 for fifth term. This is n, okay? And here, n is the position. So if n is 1, it means the first position. If n is 2, the second position. But that does not mean that the number in first position is 1, or it does not also mean the number in second position is 2, and even the number in third position does not mean it is 3. Though in some cases there is coincidence, but the real meaning is these are the positions of the numbers. Alright, we shall keep on understanding that as we go to examples. So these are the notations that we have in sequence: first term, second term, third term, fourth term, and it goes on. So a finite sequence with n terms is written as, remember, a finite sequence has a point where it stops. So it is written as U1 for first term, second term, third term for U3. It continues up to UN. UN is the last term of that finite sequence. And that is the introduction that I thought was very important and necessary for us to know before we go into examples of sequences. Therefore, if you have made it this far, I like to say thank you. And this is your tutor for the next playlist on series and sequences. So this was just an overview and a great introduction to what sequences are. Find time, copy notes, and revise. In the coming videos, we shall begin straight away with examples under sequences. Remember, I said we shall address this in two sections. The first section, or the first phase, will be sequences, and the second phase will be series. It is very important for you to understand both sequences and series as they are highly examined. Thank you.